Hey guys, it's Miki ASMR here, and today I'm going to be reading a Tsukishima Kei ex-listener. This one is titled You're Annoying, and without further ado, let's get right on into the video. The moment those words left his mouth, my heart sank. After I had tried so hard to be friends with Tsukishima, it had been proven that it was just one big waste of time. I'd never felt more pathetic in my life. 3 weeks had passed, and I didn't even dare to say a single word to him since that moment. I didn't even so much as look at him, but that didn't keep him off of my mind. Even now, his voice and face still haunted my thoughts. Stupid Tsukishima, I thought, holding my blankets tightly around me as I curled up onto the couch. It was mostly to help comfort myself, since the weather was actually quite warm. Early summer, actually, but my depressed mood was making me feel like it was in the middle of winter. Maybe I was a stupid one, whining over how I'd failed so horribly to be friends with someone who was such a jerk. Having no school today, I intended to sit there on the couch and watch a bunch of movies to keep myself distracted. Normally, I'd have watched some sappy romance movie, but I wanted something that was so far out of the realm of possibility. In the end, I chose an old dinosaur movie that had a large number of scenes involving people being ripped apart by raptors and other vicious creatures. That was a good choice for my mood, right? About 15 minutes into it, I heard someone knocking on my door. It was probably Yamaguchi. He had texted me earlier asking if I wanted him to bring me some coffee from my favorite coffee shop to cheer me up, but I refused, saying that I'd rather be alone. But knowing him, he probably did it anyways, since he knew I would never turn down coffee. Grumbling a bit, I got up and walked to the door with my blanket wrapped around my shoulders. I slowly opened the door, prepared to scold my friend for not listening to me. But it wasn't Yamaguchi standing at my door. Had I not been so surprised, I might have shut the door in his face, but I wasn't like him. "Are you sick or insane?" Tsukishima asked, staring at the blanket that I wore. It was a fair question. It was summer after all, but it still annoyed me. What was he doing here anyways? "What are you?" I started to ask, but he came in, noticing that I started to ask why he came here, but noticed that something had captured Tsukishima's attention. It was the movie I'd been watching. Did he like that movie or something? I hadn't really paid much attention to it when I picked it, so I didn't even know what it was. Rethinking my strategy, I looked up at him with a sigh. "Why don't you come in?" Tsukishima nodded and took a step inside, handing me something. "Here." I took the thing that was in his hands and looked down at it. Coffee. I wasn't sure whether to smile or question if it was poisoned. "It's from Yamaguchi. He said you weren't feeling well and that this would cheer you up." It was hard to believe that Tsukishima would actually do something nice, even if Yamaguchi forced him to. Taking a sip, I couldn't resist a smile. It was my favorite after all. "Thanks." I set the coffee on the nearby table and stared up at him. This couldn't be possibly the only reason he'd come here, right? Wait a second, how did he even know where I live? "Yamaguchi told me where you live, okay?" he said, staring at the TV screen as he answered the question that I hadn't yet asked. Reaching for the remote, I stopped the movie. Tsukishima gave me a small glare as he turned back to me. "I thought you might want to see it from the beginning, so I was going to start it over." His expression immediately softened. Clearly, he hadn't expected that. It's the kind of thing friends do, but since we're not friends, I guess you could say it's called being nice. At this point, we seemed to forget about everything else as Tsukishima joined me to watch a dinosaur movie marathon. Warm, I thought to myself as I opened my eyes slowly. Wait, I fell asleep? I tried to sit myself up, but something stopped me. Looking up, I found Tsukishima's sleeping body leaning on me with one arm around my shoulder and his glasses starting to fall off of his face. Wait, when did he? I couldn't remember him doing such a thing. Had he done it after I'd fallen asleep? I don't think I remembered falling asleep. What time was it? My eyes widened as I checked the clock on the wall. It was 4 a.m. We must have been out for a long time. Returning my gaze back to him, a startling thought crossed my mind. He was actually kind of cute when he slept, snoring softly and a little bit of drool escaping him, glasses falling out of the place. He never looked so peaceful or sweet. I really hated to wake him up, but his family must have been worried. And it would look really bad if someone saw him leaving my house early in the morning. Tsukishima, I said softly as I shook him. Hopefully he wasn't a heavy sleeper. He didn't move. Okay, let's try again. Tsuki, I sang in a sing-song-like type of voice. Still nothing. Okay, third time's a charm, right? Okay. This time I finally got some kind of reaction. A small groan and a mumble that sorta sounded like my name. Okay, time to try something else. I leaned and brushed the tip of my nose against his cheek. Maybe that'll get his attention. He mumbled something again. I guess that didn't work. For a second, I wondered if I kissed him, would it wake him up? But I quickly tossed that aside. Something stupid like that wouldn't work on him. With a sigh, I tried to shake him awake. This time, he finally opened his eyes. He blinked a few times after fixing his glasses. I fell asleep, he asked, not fully awake yet. I had to admit, he was actually kind of adorable in this state. Though it was a shock when his arms surrounded me, pulling me into him. Maybe he was less awake than I thought. With his face nuzzled into my neck, it was hard to understand when he was speaking. You know, you're really annoying, but Tsukishima came back to look me in the eyes, confusing me. You're not annoying, or you're more annoying when you're not with me. He leaned in close, making me more confused. Tsukishima? This was a bit closer than I'd ever thought he'd get to me, and it was a little frightening. What happened to the jerk, Tsukishima? At least I knew how to handle him, but this? No way. With a sigh of annoyance, he backed up a bit. You're so annoying and persistent that I got used to you always being there with me. There's a Tsukishima I knew. So when you suddenly weren't with me, it made me more annoyed. I got it now. You could have just said that you miss me like any normal person would. I giggled a bit. Maybe that way I would have understood what you were saying the first time. He scowled at me before pulling me close again. Damn, you're annoying. His lips pressed to mine, preventing me from saying anything more. But it's more annoying when you're not with me. But stop it, that was so cute. Oh my god. Tsukishima, marry me. I love you so much. You can't convince me that Tsukishima isn't the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. And if you did, make sure you like the video so I can get make sure you like the video because it does something for the YouTube algorithm. And comment down below some other characters you want me to do, and I will do them for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.